Now this is a typical scene where I would want to use a split graduated filter, and I'm going to be using the live GND feature of the OM-1 Mark II on this camera. And the reason why I'm going to be using that is because I got the sun up in the sky up there, filtered behind some clouds, but the sky is still a lot brighter than my foreground. And if I take a shot without any GND filter at all on the camera, you can see that I'm overexposing the sky relative to my foreground. So this is a classic example of when you'd want to use a live GND. Now on the horizon here, I wouldn't be using the hard GND because I don't have a smooth transition between the sky and the clouds. So I'll take a look at either the soft or the medium GND. And then I'll just balance the strength of the GND so that my sky looks relative to my foreground in terms of brightness and density. I don't want the sky looking too dark, but I definitely want to darken it down to balance the exposure. Now you did see me using a tripod for that live GND shot, but the great thing with the image stabilization on the OM-1 Mark II, you do not need to use a tripod when you're using the live GND feature. And you don't even need to use a tripod when you're using their regular live ND features too. Now here's another instance when the live GND feature works so well. You can see behind me here that I have snow on the foreground there that's in the sunlight, really nice and bright, and then behind it I have a hill with some trees, and that's in the shade and that's dark. So if I expose for the trees to get detail in them, you'll see that my foreground gets really blown out and I lose detail in my highlights. So I turned the live GND filter on, flipped it upside down so that it's on the bottom part, darkening the foreground, and then that helps me balance the exposure. And we can see that I get a really nice exposure right in the camera, right out in the field. I love getting out and about and photographing in the winter. For one, there's a lot less people. There's no insects. I don't really have to worry about bears up where I live in Montana. And there's just such a serenity and a beauty to the mountains up here in particular with the snow. Doesn't seem like as many photographers like to be out in the cold, but if you dress appropriately, not going to be cold, and boy, you can really get some good shots. I am headed to an area up here in the mountains of Montana where there's a really nice waterfall that should be frozen right now, but I'm hoping that there's going to be some water that's still moving so I can get some live ND shots. You know, I can be able to really slow down that exposure and get that nice smooth water. Well, the waterfall was a little bit of a bust. Still too much ice up there. I was hoping for some openings down below where I could have gotten some water flowing, but just down below the waterfall, a nice little creek was flowing and was able to use live ND down there.
Now this is a perfect opportunity to use live ND. Got a little bit of waterfall right over here. It's coming right towards me. A lot of times you don't need to use a tripod when you're shooting in live ND, but I'm a little unbalanced over here standing in the water and on some loose rocks. So having that tripod is going to help with the stability of me in the camera and getting a really nice sharp shot. On the OM-1 Mark II, we now have ND 128, which is fantastic because it gives you a longer exposure and it makes that water just even smoother.